First, I understand that you put out a statement earlier saying that you've been in contact with the police and fire officials in Boston and New York. Tell us about what the situation is now.
And also talking to several federal officials. First of all, from all indications, there was no advance warning of this. I'm not aware of any intelligence that was out there. But as I heard Mike Balboni say, there certainly is all the earmarks of a terrorist attack. I can't give the name now, but I have heard of a person who right now they are focusing on as a possible suspect. So this is, again, it's horrific. It's so early. There could be, the terrorists could be from anywhere across the gamut, but there's definitely, again, this has the earmarks. In many ways, it's similar to the Times Square attack we saw in New York in 2010, where there was no advance warning, and it appears to be somebody who knew what they were doing and carried it out with really brutal efficiency.
Congressman King, how frustrating is this? And if first responders, they were there, they were on their job, they dived right in, but how frustrating is this in terms of just trying to keep at the forefront of the minds of lawmakers how important funding is, because we are still very vulnerable for these types of attacks?
I can't tell you enough how significant this is. To me, this should be a real wake-up call to everyone. In Congress, I find it so frustrating. People in both parties, by the way, this is not a partisan issue. They treat 9/11 as if it's ancient history. They want to make believe that we are no longer threatened, and in a way, we're being penalized for success. No one does more to stop terrorism than the police in New York and Long Island, and yet they're constantly trying to cut us. Saying because we haven't been attacked shows we don't need the money. Well, the reason we haven't been attacked is because of the great intelligence work that we do. But it's very frustrating. If anything good comes out of today's horror, hopefully it'll be a wake-up call to America and to the Congress that this enemy, the enemies we have are real, they're brutal, they never stop. We can afford, we think we can afford to rest. We can't, because our enemy never rests and never stops.
Now, Congressman, I know that you've worked closely with NYPD and that our New York City Police Department is very well equipped to handle these types of big, giant events and battle with potential terrorist attacks. What about the Boston Police Department? Because this seems like this was a security nightmare to some degree. You have multiple municipalities. You have a very big, long event, runners moving from one area to another area, a quick pace. And commerce on each side that you're trying to secure. How prepared is a city like Boston to handle something like this?
Again, I don't want to second guess Boston. My understanding is that they've focused on terrorism. Having said that, I use an example all the time. The NYPD has 1,000 police officers dedicated to terrorism. The city of Chicago has 4.
Wow.
New York, Nassau, Suffolk, no one puts in the effort that they do. And actually, the event itself, if a person makes it that far, but you can have all the security in the world, it's difficult to stop them. What we do here in New York and Long Island have is intelligence. We have intelligence to stop these attacks before they happen, to preempt them, to prevent the people from getting the supplies that they need. And that's why, the NYPD gets criticized for being active as far as, looking into communities and see what might be happening. That's really how you stop these attacks. Again, we can have all the technology, the best cops in the world. If a person comes to an event with an explosive device and he's been watching carefully enough, there's a good, unfortunately, there's a good chance he can make it or she can make it. The idea is to stop them before they get that far. And that's, I don't know if Boston has done that. I don't know how aggressive Boston is as far as reaching out into the community, as far as working with local businesses, telling them, let us know if anyone is buying any, particular, whether they're fuses or explosives or any type of device or element that could be used to produce an explosive device.
All right, Congressman Peter King, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Frustrating day for you and many others. All right, thank you so much.